Hey, Bedros Keuilian here, and today we're going to talk about work-life balance for the entrepreneur. Whether you own a business or starting a business or have developed and built a massive empire, you're probably lacking work-life balance, and we're going to talk about it right here and now. What if I told you you could actually have a good work-life balance? What if I told you your business will grow faster, that you will be happier, you will have less stress, you won't be overwhelmed with opportunities, and really you can have it all, right? So let me share it with you how that works. All right, so what you see here is the peace sign, right? But I figured out very quickly that in life, we're all looking for one thing. See, I'm pretty introspective where life is concerned. I always kind of look back and go, how did this happen? Why did I do this? What steps did I take to produce this outcome of success or failure? And Lord knows I've had plenty of failures in my life. I'm thankful right now that we have one of the fastest growing fitness franchises on the planet and that I get to coach and consult New York Times bestselling authors and thought leaders. And I run 3 masterminds and have a marketing and media company. But let me tell you, I could list off a laundry list of failures that I've gone through, and every single one has led me into more stress, more anxiety. And in fact, my anxiety attacks used to be so bad that I would have these things called essential tremors where my nervous system would shut down at random times. I would run a workshop or a speaking event and I'd go back up to my hotel room, and as I was taking off my clothes, getting ready for bed, I would just seize up and start freezing and just fall over for a minute or two, and that was my nervous system shutting down. That's called essential tremors. And so I've really had a gamut of failures. I've dealt with every level of overwhelm, anxiety, stress, not wanting to get out of bed. I remember there was a time in this very building as I would drive right through the parking lot here that I would just start shaking because I didn't know what was in store for me once I entered this building because it was just all coming at me at once. Thankfully, I have an amazing A-level team right now who just takes so much off my plate and comes up with great ideas that I'd probably never think of anyway, right? So that's a testament to, by the way, hiring the right team around you and empowering them to do more. And you'd be surprised what they're able to do if you get the right people around you. But you and I as entrepreneurs, we do this, and we do this for one reason, and that is, ready for this, happiness, right? Now you might say that, hey, listen, I got into business because I want to contribute more to society. I call bullshit on that. You might say that I got into business because I want a great life. And I'll say, okay, tell me, why do you want a great life? Because I want to travel. Why do you want to travel? Because I want to show my family around. Why do you want to show your family around? Because I want them to experience the best things in life. Why? And if I keep asking you why, you're going to say, because it makes me happy, right? Think about that. Why do you want to make money? And you might say, well, the politically correct thing to say, if I ask you why do you make money, is, well, I want to make sure my kids get a good education. I want to make sure that I can contribute to the causes and the charities that I believe in. But if I keep asking you why, you're going to say, because making money makes me happy, right? Yes, you're going to make impact, you're going to have significance, you're going to have all those things. But the reality of it is that making money makes you happy, right? And so this is really important for you to know that, because we don't want to sugarcoat any of this stuff anymore, right? Making money makes you happy. I'm okay with that. You should be okay with that as well. But there are 4 things in life that contribute to happiness. And I'm going to show you what those are. As we've been talking about, thing number 1 is money. Money. Money makes us happy. Why? Money solves the problem of not having money. My friend Dean Graziosi says, whenever you have a problem in life, most of the time you can cut a check and it should be able to solve that problem. And while money can't buy happiness, it can certainly solve many other problems not having money can cause, right? And so why else would you want money? Of course you want to contribute to society. Of course you want your kids to have the best education. Of course you want great health care. Of course you want experiences and you want to travel. So it's okay to fall in love with making money. There's nothing wrong with making money, right? There really isn't. And many people have this misconception that I have to veil it under, it's for a cause, it's for significance, or I have to feel guilty about making money. Don't. Because you know what happened just recently in the last 2 weeks in this very building? We've got about 25 team members here. We were able to upgrade our health care because we started making more money. And I love the fact that I can buy better health care for my team, right? That I can get a 401k started for my team and I can help contribute to their 401k. Without money, I can't do any of that. Most recently here in Chino Hills, there was a young girl, a high school age girl, whose heart stopped. We were able to contribute to it. So while there's cause and significance and all that is great and important, make no mistake about it, money also makes me sleep well at night. And money will make you sleep well at night as well. So in addition to money making you happy, there's something else. You need your health, right? And as entrepreneurs, we get all or nothing oftentimes, and this is where the kiss of death happens. Because you focus so much on making money, which there's nothing wrong with that you begin to neglect your health. Think about this. When was the last time you woke up and actually meditated and you had a cold glass of 16 ounces of water and maybe had a protein shake or some kind of a green juice? When was the last time you sent out gratitude text messages to friends and family who are valuable to you, that you care about, right? When was the last time that you went to the gym on a regular basis or went to your garage and worked out on that doohickey that you bought from the infomercial, right? When was the last time that you had a balanced diet? When was the last time that you decided to take inventory of the shit in your life and to cut out the stuff that causes stress? Typically, you will neglect your health for the growth of the business, but I promise you this, as someone who went through this, I had such a severe anxiety attack in my guest house. I have a big, giant property. I have a guest house above my 6-car garage. And all of that to me in that moment meant nothing when I had an anxiety attack so big that I thought I was having a heart attack at the age of 38, right? And that was not worth it. In that very moment, I said, man, if I could just not have this heart attack that's happening to me right now, I'd give up this house and the property and everything else. As it turns out, it was an anxiety attack, and it was a really good warning sign for me. That's when I started taking inventory in my life. As someone who's passionate about health and fitness, what happened? How did I let it slip, right? We get so hung up and caught up into the business side of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when I walk out of these doors right here, and there's a door right here to my left, that's it. I have to shut it down. I have to shut it down, and I have to be present. Who do I have to be present with? Relationships, right? With my family. With my family. Because odds are, again, if you're focused on your business, you're neglecting your health, you might be neglecting your relationships, and of course, you're forgetting about meaning. But happiness comes from those 4 things, and that is relationships, meaning, health, and money, right? That's it. That's what makes us happy. Think about it. If you have all the money in the world, but you don't have people to share it with, to experience it with, how valuable is it? If you have all the money in the world, but you don't have any meaning or significance. Do you remember Robin Williams? Do you remember Robin Williams? Sadly, one of the greatest actors and comedians of our times committed suicide because of the fact that he had money but no meaning or significance in his life, because they kept putting him into movies where they wanted him to be that funny guy, and all he wanted to do was break out of that role and be a more serious actor. So where he had money, he had no meaning, or at least he felt he had no meaning. Surely he had meaning in my life and the lives of all the people that he brought happiness and joy and laughter to. But he felt he had no meaning, and therefore he committed suicide, which is very unfortunate. So happiness comes from those 4 things: money, health, meaning, and relationships. And by the way, I should tell you this, that if you've got relationships that are toxic, you can't expect to be happy. You can't. And you might say, yeah, but they're family or they're a spouse, or, you know, I'm dating this person. I say cut them loose. And if you can't cut them loose, you've got to at least edit that relationship, right? You've got to edit that relationship, because you are a person of influence. You impact business. You impact other people's economy. Odds are you probably signed the front of the check. And if your name is on the front of the check, you're responsible for payroll. You can't have toxic relationships. You can't have bad health. You can't be in a place where you don't have meaning and significance, because you'll be depressed, right? Think about that. If we don't have meaning and significance, we get depressed. And someone once asked me, well, what do you mean by that? I said, well, I got this dog. Her name is Cookie. She's part German Shepherd, part American Mastiff. And when I went to pick her up, because his family was giving her away, the one thing they told me was that, listen, we got to tell you this, that any dog that's part German Shepherd or all German Shepherd needs a routine. They need a daily ritual. They need to feel like they're doing something, right? They need to have some kind of meaning. I said, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. Well, you got to get up and play catch with her every morning. Great, fantastic, I'd love to. This is why I'm taking her, right? So every morning I wake up with Cookie and I take her outside and I feed her and then I water her. And while I'm drinking my water and just going through my text messages and sending gratitude text messages to 3 to 4 friends, coworkers, whoever, I'm throwing the ball for Cookie 10 to 15 times and she's running out there and getting it. That is her ritual. She feels she has meaning when she does that. She knows we're going to do that. The moment we walk out that back door at 5:30 in the morning, she goes and grabs her tennis ball. She knows it's time to play. right? Like German Shepherd dogs, we need meaning, we need significance. If we don't have that, we fall into a massive state of depression. And when you really think about all the different drugs that are being sold right now and offered and prescribed by doctors for mood stabilizing, right? Antidepressants. I mean, it's off the charts. We've never prescribed more mood altering medication than we have today. And it's because we are missing meaning and significance in our life. And these four things are connected. Meaning and significance happens when you take this money and you go on a trip and you share the world with your friends and family. Do you understand that? And you're in a healthy state where you can hike with them, you can swim with them, you can explore, you can backpack, you can travel. So all four things are tied together for happiness. And so how do you get happiness? Let's reverse engineer that. Well, your actions. Your actions lead to happiness. And that's important for you to know that. Your actions lead to happiness, and just like that, your actions will also lead to despair. And the reason for that is, if you are taking the wrong actions in life, then odds are you're not going to make money. Think about this. Let's say that you, this morning, let's say, you woke up, the alarm went off, and you hit snooze. And then you hit snooze again, and then it went off one more time, and you hit snooze for the third time. Now, finally, you sprung out of bed 20 minutes later than you meant to, and now you're behind the eight ball, aren't you? So you were going to send out an email broadcast to your list, or maybe you were going to run a Facebook ad campaign, or maybe you were going to do a Facebook Live, but you didn't prepare right. You didn't write that email copy just right. You didn't write that ad. You didn't craft that ad the way it should have if you had more time. And guess what happens? The email doesn't perform, the ad doesn't perform, and your Facebook Live is shit. Then what typically happens is that action leads to a lack of money, because whatever call to action you gave, you never gain the money from it. And so if you take the wrong actions, you're going to lead your life to despair instead of happiness. The right actions lead to money. So alarm goes off. You wake up right away without hitting snooze, right? Now you have the time to take your shower. You have the time to craft a proper email or run a proper ad or structure a proper Facebook Live video like this. And you can deliver your call to action. You can deliver your message. And people give you the money in exchange for the value that you add. So your actions lead to happiness. If you wake up and you mean to work out, but you don't work out, and you continue to do that, and you wake up and you mean to eat well, but you don't eat well, you go through the McDonald's drive-thru, or you go to Starbucks and you get those little bagel bites with the cream cheese in it that my son loves so much, which on Sundays I might eat one or two, maybe three, right? Guess what happens if you make that a habit though? Your health starts to suffer, right? Insulin levels go up. Diabetes starts setting in. High blood pressure starts setting in. You feel lethargic. You're bloated. You can't think right because you've got foggy head. In the meantime, your competitor is dialed in because the actions they're taking, they're working out, getting their dopamines pumping, the endorphins pumping. They're eating right. They don't hit the snooze button. And that's the guy or gal that you want to be. So your actions dictate your happiness. But what dictates your actions? Your belief systems, right? Your belief systems. Think about this. If tonight I go home and I watch the evening news and they tell me how the economy's, it's bound to crash again. We're about to have another 2008, they say, right? And if I listen to that, and they say how people are getting raped and murdered in my town, and they say how our current president is just going to run this country to the ground, I don't know if he's going to or not. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. I control my own economy, and every person around me, I encourage to control their own economy, right? You have to remember that I launched Fit Body Boot Camp, an international franchise, in 2008, 2009, when the economy had crashed. And in fact, one guy told me, why are we making all these videos and making a website and creating a franchise when the economy is just crumbling around us? Unemployment is at 11%. I said, money didn't go away. Money just exchanged hands. And I'm going to find the person who's got the money. I'm going to offer them my franchise, and they're going to give me money in exchange for the value of the franchise. That was my belief system. I don't listen to the talking heads. So to me, whatever's happening out there doesn't matter. I control my outcome. My belief systems control my actions, right? So if you got people around you, for example, who are Debbie Downers and negative people, they're going to impact your belief system. And your belief system will impact your actions. Your actions will then impact the outcome, the happiness, right? So let's talk about that. What controls your belief system? Two things, as Dan Sullivan says: the thoughts that occupy your mind and the people that you surround yourself with. Now, I know it's a pretty bold thing that I'm asking you to do, to create filters around you. I like to call it a bubble, right? I have a bubble around me. I live in a 2.5-mile bubble. My home is 2.5 miles away from our headquarters. My headquarters is literally across the street from the gym that I work out in, which is right in the same shopping center as the Starbucks that I get my iced coffee, grande iced coffee, 1 pump of classic, because I want to control the calories I take in while getting my coffee that I need, right? I've got 92 people blocked on my cell phone. 92 people blocked on what is one of the greatest features, by the way, on your iPhone is that block feature. They can't text me, they can't call me. Why? Because these are people who are negative, that are toxic, and I block them. I don't want them to influence my day-to-day life when I'm in here dominating the world, right? So you can create a bubble or create filters to edit people out of your life. And if there's people who are just crabs and energy vampires, then you've got to find ways to part ways. I've had to do that. It's not the greatest feeling on the planet to part ways with someone that maybe you grew up with or were friends with at some point, but if you have nothing in common anymore, if your mission in life and their mission in life is incongruent, part ways, baby, and surround yourself with people who are on the same mission, right? Like, do you want to be a fighter jet or do you want to be a crop duster? So if I want to be a fighter jet and I want to operate like a fighter jet, I'm going to hang out with fighter jets, and I'm not going to go to the farm and hang out with crop dusters, because soon I start taking on crop duster characteristics, right? So the people that you surround yourself with impact your belief system in a massive way. But there's also the thoughts, and the thoughts might have come from, let's say, mom and dad when you were a kid, maybe a school teacher who didn't believe in you. Maybe the thought system came from, maybe mom or dad had talk radio going, right, in the car when they would drive you to school and back, and it was all negative, negative, negative. The economy's crashing, crime and rape and this and that and the other. And soon you start living in this fear and scarcity mindset. See, I believe we all have a loop that's playing in our head, like a soundtrack, if you will, right? A soundtrack. So you can actually change that soundtrack in your head. That is the thoughts that occupy your mind. That's the soundtrack that's playing in your head. So how do you do that? It truly is by surrounding yourself with the type of people that you want to be like, going to events, workshops, seminars, masterminds, whatever, with people who are where you want to be in the future, right? I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. Because when I'm the dumbest guy in the room, I'm going to get a lot of influence from the smartest people in the room, and they're going to change my thought patterns and the way I look at myself, how I carry myself, my business, my team, my marketing, the economy around me. And so that's the big thing I want to leave you with today, that we are all after one thing, and that is happiness. And happiness is a byproduct of these 4 things: money, good health, meaning and significance, and great relationships, right? That's what happiness is. And happiness comes from actions. And your actions are controlled by your belief systems. Your belief systems are controlled by the thoughts and the people. The thoughts that occupy your mind and the people that you surround yourself with. And if you think that you can get away by surrounding yourself with a negative person, or I'm just going to listen to the news just in the mornings to see how traffic is, I promise you that shit gets into your subconscious mind and it impacts the actions that you take all day long. It does. All right, and that's what I have to share with you about getting that work-life balance that you want, need, and deserve. Now, if you got a lot of content and a lot of value out of this video, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share this video so we can impact the lives of more entrepreneurs worldwide. I'll see you later.